This is the most successful team in football history, and right now they are cursed. Brazil have not won a World Cup in 24 years, not since Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho ran the world in 2002. Since then, heartbreak after heartbreak, a collapse so bad it has its own name. Quarterfinal after quarterfinal, the same painful ending. For the country that gave us the beautiful game, this isn't a slump. It feels like a curse. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what went wrong, and to understand the fall, you first have to see how high they once stood. In 2002, Brazil weren't just the best team, they were untouchable. Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, the famous 3 Rs. They won every single game at that World Cup. Ronaldo scored 8 goals and buried his ghost from 1998. They beat Germany 2-0 in the final. It was their 5th title. No nation on earth had ever won more, and they did it with style, flair, samba, pure joy. This was Joga Bonito. The beautiful game itself. The whole world assumed Brazil would rule forever. And why wouldn't they? They had the talent factory. They had the history. They had 5 stars on the shirt. But football was quietly changing underneath their feet. Europe was getting fitter, smarter, and far more organized. Brazil leaned on individual genius. Europe started building ruthless systems. Nobody noticed at first. Everyone still expected the trophies. The samba was still playing. And then the curse began. It started quietly, then it became impossible to ignore. 2006 in Germany, Brazil arrive with their so-called magic quartet, but they look slow, heavy, and weirdly uninterested. France knocked them out in the quarterfinals as Zidane runs the game on his own that night. Brazil barely touch him. 4 years later, 2010 South Africa, Brazil lead the Netherlands 1-0 in the quarterfinal. Then they fall apart completely. 2 goals, a red card, and they crash out. Same round, same agony. And then 2014 arrived. On home soil, the pressure was crushing. Neymar carried the entire nation on his back. Then he broke his back literally against Colombia, a fractured vertebra. Brazil lost captain Thiago Silva to suspension too. So Brazil faced Germany without their best attacker and their best defender. What followed wasn't a defeat. It was a public execution. 7-1. They call it the Minerazo, a wound that has never fully closed. 2018 in Russia, Belgium simply outthinked them in the quarterfinals. Gone again. 2022 in Qatar, they look unstoppable. Then they freeze against Croatia. They lose on penalties. Neymar sits alone on the grass and weeps. 5 tournaments. 5 times they fell short. 4 quarterfinal exits and 1 living nightmare. The curse wasn't a feeling anymore. It was a pattern. So is it really a curse, or is it something far colder? The honest answer is hard to swallow. Football evolved fast and Brazil did not keep up. The modern game is about pressing, structure, and discipline. Europe mastered all of it. Brazil just kept waiting for a magician. They leaned on one superstar, then the next, Ronaldinho, then Kaká, then Neymar. But you cannot win a World Cup with one man anymore. The best teams win with a plan. Then there's the weight. No nation carries pressure like Brazil. The whole nation treats anything less than the trophy as a disaster. That fear makes players tighten up. Beautiful football slowly becomes frightened football. One quick thing before we finish. If this breakdown is hitting the spot, hit that subscribe button right now. We break down every big World Cup story exactly like this one, and stick around because what Brazil are doing right now in 2026 might change this entire story. Which brings us to right now, and maybe the moment the curse finally breaks. It's 2026. The United States, Canada, and Mexico are hosting the World Cup, and Brazil are back in the knockout rounds. They topped their group ahead of Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. 2 big wins, 1 draw, and a swagger we haven't seen in years. Next up, they face Japan in the round of 32. The samba is playing again, but one question shadows every single match. Can this generation finally end the wait? 24 years is a long time for any nation. For Brazil, it feels like forever. They don't just want to win this trophy, they needed to feel like themselves again. A 6th star would silence every doubter on the planet. It would turn a curse into the greatest comeback in the sport. But football, as Brazil know better than anyone, promises nothing. So here's my question for you. Is this Brazil side actually good enough to lift it, or does the curse roll on for another 4 years? Drop your honest take in the comments. I read every single one.